Infernape EX is a mid-range control deck that focuses on energy acceleration, board control, and powerful sweeps. The core strategy revolves around using Moltres EX for energy acceleration, Houndoom for locking key Pokemon in place, and Infernape EX for those hard-hitting knockouts and sweeps. This is such a great and amazing deck, and I believe that it's also considered a budget deck, but it's something that I came up with that I think has a strong matchup against top-tier meta decks, especially those that rely on key Pokemon EX like Darkrai, Dialga, and Celebi Executor variants. As in my experience, and as you'll see in the gameplay here, Infernape EX acts as a pseudo and direct hard counter for some of these deck profiles. We're taking a look at the Infernape EX deck. We've got 2 Chimchar, which is your primary starter, which evolves into your Infernape EX, 2 Monferno, the bridge to Infernape EX, essential for board setup. Yep, you're looking at this correct. 1 Infernape EX, the deck's main attacker, capable of sweeping entire teams. 2 Houndour helps set up Houndoom. 2 Houndoom locks the opponent's Pokemon, preventing retreat to force bad trades. 1 Moltres EX, core energy accelerators, spreading fire energy across the board. And for our trainer lineup, we have 2 X speed, which reduces retreat cost, better for your pivots. 2 Pokeball for fast board setups. 1 Pokemon communication, acts as a flexible searching option, and it's also your pseudo Infernape EX and your 3rd Monferno. 1 Rocky Helmet, punishes opponents for attacking Moltres EX and or Houndoom. 2 Professor's Research, because we need to look for those Monfernos. The strategy is to get into our Infernape and stage 2 decks suffer a curse on Pokemon TCG pocket so long as Rare County is not a thing in the card pool. And to end the deck lineup, we've got 2 Dawn, which transfers energies to Infernape EX for optimal sweeps. The tactics for Infernape EX, what makes Infernape EX a meta contender? I'm going to break it down for you. This deck balances control and burst damage for Okos all day long. In the early game, prioritize Moltres EX as the starter to set up energy acceleration, and if it's not available, Chimchar is your next best start. Mid-game, you want to get into your Houndoom. This is after you've already built it up with Moltres EX and or your Monfernos, because using Houndoom's ability to lock in high HP threats like Darkrai EX, Magnezone Superior, and Executor, setting them up and locking them out is going to give you some amazing sweeps with your Infernape, and in some cases, if you've got a direct counter against grass decks, Houndoom itself can create amazing sweeps on its own. In the late game for tactics, Dawn plus Infernape EX enables massive amounts and consistent Okos, particularly against meta decks that struggle with high burst damage. I'm looking at you, Arceus Dialga decks. Dude, we sweep those all day long. We've talked about deck profile and tactics. What is a strong starting hand and optimal opening plays for this deck? Your ideal starting hand should include the following. Again, in a perfect world, Moltres EX, this is your best possible start. Moltres EX accelerates energy to your bench Pokemon while acting as a pivot to retreat into a stronger attacker. Houndour or Chimchar, a solid secondary starter. If you don't start with Moltres EX, Chimchar is preferable since it directly evolves into Monferno and Infernape EX, and you only need 2 fire energies. Pokeball, essential for deck consistency. If you've got Chimchar, hopefully you look for your Houndour. If you've got Houndour, hopefully you find your Chimchar. Rocky Helmet, this is a strong tool for Moltres EX. Since Moltres isn't attacking, Rocky Helmet ensures chip damage when opponents target it. And X Speed synergizes perfectly well with Moltres EX, allows an easy retreat to switch into your Houndour or Houndoom or your Chimchar without wasting any sort of energy. This is, again, in a perfect world, a great starting and strong optimal hand. Now we've made it to the point in the video where we're discussing weaknesses and choke points. Yep, we've got to look at those because no deck is impervious to its own weaknesses. The first one is water decks, Palkia, Gyarados, Misty variants. The deck struggles against water. We obviously know why. Water is just a huge direct counter to this deck. Inconsistent evolution hands, a classic stage 2 issue, mitigated by running 1 Infernape EX and 1 Pokemon communication for consistency if you can't get into your key cards. Looking at you, Monferno, this deck will lose, and every stage 2 deck knows this issue. It is extremely struggling and challenging, and it also creates amazing headaches for you. And by amazing, I mean really annoying headaches, because sometimes you are looking at some games you know you can win, but you can't because you're missing that 1 card. Again, which is why I dropped the Infernape EX to 1 in hopes that Pokemon communication bridges that consistency issue. And finally, the other weakness and choke point for this deck is Moltres EX energy flips. If Moltres EX fails to hit heads on flips, pivoting into Houndoom for control is going to be your best key pivot play. The best matchups for Infernape EX, of course, Celebi EX and Executor variants. I'm looking right at you because everybody is still playing you all day long. This is a hard counter, and Infernape EX dominates these decks without any issue. You know what's awesome about Dialga EX variants is that Dialga still has a weakness for fire. This disrupts her tempo by locking key cards through Houndoom, and we're doing, instead of doing 60 damage off of the Houndoom, we're doing 80 because that plus 20 is really crucial. And believe it or not, when you do play some Fighting Toolbox decks, primarily Garchomp decks, Houndoom locks Riolu, Lucario, and even Gibbles. This prevents their main gameplay. Dude, this thing just sweeps through Fighting Toolbox. It's amazing. I had such a great time. And if you stick around for the gameplay, you'll actually see me play a Fighting Toolbox deck, and we smoke it. We smoke it. We take all the smoke. Infernape is clutch. And finally, the worst matches for Infernape EX decks, as I mentioned before, the Gyarados, Palkia variants, Starmie EX, Misty variants, water-based decks, outspeed and exploit our weaknesses, unfortunately. And outside of that, heavy tank decks and heal decks, if an opponent can out-heal burst damage, which is very, very minimal. And I'm looking at like Machamp and Charizard decks which have high HP. Infernape does slow down because we will have to use Infernape's attack more than once, sometimes 2 to 3 times depending on the board state and how well the skill curve is against your opponent. And my final thoughts and adjustments, if you're looking at this deck and you're looking to make it a zone, I just want to share some trial and error issues that I faced with the deck. Playing Infernape at 2, I'm telling you, don't do it. If you want to, of course, I won't stop you and I respect you for making your own choices, but reducing 1 Infernape EX is going to help you prevent bricking. Yes, I did test Kangaskhan and Druddigon. I did cut them because of high retreat costs. It just didn't make sense, especially because Moltres EX also requires 2 retreat costs and we're not playing any sort of leafs. I think leaf in this deck is terrible. And the deck thrives on controlling tempo and forcing bad trades, so you want to focus mainly on playing slow burn style. You don't want to focus on playing extremely aggro because then you will outplay and not use Houndoom to its full potential. Now that we've broken down the deck, let's see it in action. Watch how Moltres EX accelerates energy, Houndoom locks down the key threats, which I can't even tell you how great these gameplay is going to be. You're going to enjoy this very much. And Infernape EX sweeps the entire team. Let's jump into some battles. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate you more than you know. Let's get to it. Okay, how's it going, folks? Here's the first game. We're playing Houndoom and Infernape, just to reiterate what we just talked about. And we are starting off fairly decent. Houndour, 2 of them, Chimchar, Monferno, and a Houndoom. Yeah, at least we have advantage here. Let's see how it goes. We're going first, so we got a Pokeball. We'll be able to start. Okay, the Moltres, that's a great play. Let's get Chimchar out, let's get Moltres out, and we'll end our turn here. And the focal point will be to build up Houndour because we have the advantage against the Dialga. Instead of hitting for 20, we'll be hitting for 40. And of course, we won't evolve into Houndoom anytime soon, but we will go into the Chimchar. We'll go ahead and build up the Houndour and we'll swing for a Flare. 40 is pretty big damage off the Houndour. For basic, you know, that's just starting off to build up your board. It's not that bad. They're going off with the Pokeball. They've got Pokeball and Oak already in the discard pile. We have no consistency cards but the Pokeball, and they've got Arceus. This is one of like the best decks currently in Pokemon TCG, Arceus Dialga. It's pretty wild how good this deck is. The beautiful part is that we'll be able to lock this Dialga in with Houndoom, and we'll be hitting for 80 off the Houndoom. So honestly, it's not a bad exchange. Go for 30, they'll set up the Arceus. A beautiful strategy, honestly. It's just really wild strategy. Oh my gosh, we've got the Infernape. Yo, we can start building the Infernape now. We'll go Houndour into Houndoom, and then we'll start building the Infernape. And just for the sake of, actually no, we'll corner it. We'll go for an 80 and we'll go for a knock next turn. Can't retreat. This is such a good strategy here. And we're only playing 1 Infernape, and as I mentioned before, you don't need 2 Infernapes. 2 Infernapes can get a little too cloggy, so playing 1 Infernape EX and changing the second Infernape EX for Pokemon Communications and Moltres EX, I think it's just a lot more consistent. They go Metallic Turbo again. They'll probably all put it onto the Arceus or the Mew. Okay, that's cool too. And we'll start building up the Infernape. We'll go Infernape Rocky Helmet. And we will build up the Infernape so that we can swing for 140. Dude, 140, we knock out every single one of their Pokemon. We are stacked here. Houndoom, no retreat with Infernape is just so good. Of course, in a perfect world, you'd always get games like these, but it's really consistent and it does really well. Pokemon Communications is really great for strategies that play stage 2 Pokemon. Y'all let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat what y'all think, man, because we are really just going to beat over this this Arceus. And you'll only put two fire energies on this Infernape as well, because you don't want to get rid of all of your fire energy, so don't overstack it. Keep it at 2 energies max. No matter what the opponent does at this point, I mean, if they go into a Dialga, we're swinging for 160, so we're running it over unless they've got like a long cape. Long cape's the only thing that I can think of that would keep it alive in this game for another turn. Anyways, this is GG. This is GG. Yep, GG. Well, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think so far. Let me know what y'all think. This is a really fun deck. Houndoom just really great at just capturing people from retreating, and it's just amazing overall because nobody's expecting this. Let's jump into the next game. All right, here we go with game 2. We're going first again. We went first the first time against one of the best tier 1 decks too, and we had great advantage. This time we're starting off a lot better with research, communications, and X speed, and a Houndour. Dude, I'm telling you, play this deck, man. I'm telling you, play this deck, because all you're going to see when you play Pokemon TCG lately and recently is Dialga decks everywhere because of Arceus. It's just such a cracked deck, and this is like the perfect anti-meta strategy, which is even meta itself. All right, let's go Houndour, Moltres EX, we've got Dawn, we've got Chimchar, and we've even got an X speed, and we'll use X speed to bring out the Houndour so that we can focus on building up that Moltres EX, and hopefully we can get into our Infernape and our Houndoom. So we'll play it like this and we'll end our turn, and then we'll evolve the Houndour into Houndoom next turn, and hopefully we can get 1 or 2 or even 3 fire energies that we can distribute amongst the bench. There it is, another Arceus. Man, we've been playing this all night. All night we've been playing this. It's so wild. Hey, we get another turn too, since Metallic Turbo requires 2 steel energies. So I mean overall we're fine. Overall we're fine. We're able to build up a little bit better. Oh my goodness, and a Monferno. Let's go. And we're playing Dawn too, so that we can focus on the Infernape. Since we're only playing 1 Infernape, we want to make sure that we capitalize on the Infernape and just literally bulldoze all of these Pokemon, since we're hitting for like 160. Oh my goodness. 1 fire energy, you gotta be kidding me. We've got to put that on the Monferno. Yeah, I gotta put that on the Monferno, because we can capitalize off of the Dialga with the Houndoom. Rocky Helmet on the Dialga. That is such a clean play. I like it a lot. And the Skarmory, they're playing full on metal, colorless. Yep. Oh my gosh, they've got every single tool in the game. They're playing it. Dude, this is, wow, super defensive, very resilient too. This is not a bad deck, considering that we're gonna take another 30. Probably lose the Moltres. Okay, well, let's do this. Since they will attack the Moltres again, we will go ahead and let's see. We do need to play. Yeah, we'll need to play this. We'll need to play this cautiously. Come on, give us 2 energies. Did we get 2 energies? Dude, we are so good right now. Yes. Come on, 1 more energy. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Okay, next turn we're going into our Houndour, or our Houndoom, sorry. And we're probably gonna lose the Houndoom, but it's all good. It's all good. Actually, we won't lose the Houndoom. No, yeah, we will, actually. What? There's no way that they just swapped. They're going for the knock here. No way that they just swapped. Dude, if we get an Infernape EX, it's over for that Arceus. We're clapping. Easy clap. Easy clap, absolutely. And that's why we're playing the communications, so we'll go Monferno just to play it safe here, because Monferno's only a 1 retreat cost. Yo, no way. No, absolutely no way, dude. Absolutely no way. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, what a snap deck, dude. Oh my gosh, y'all are watching this live, dude. I've got no words. This freaking awesome deck, dude. Oh my gosh. And then we're going into Houndoom to retreat. We're doing double plus 20, bro. Plus 20. Yes. Dude, let's go. It's cool. I'll take 50. No problem. I'm about to knock. I'm about to go for a full knock here. Okay, let's go retreat. We'll go into the Houndoom. Of course, we'll stack the Infernape, and then we will go ahead and 60, 70, 80 for a GG. And we're playing the meta deck. This is the meta deck. Oh, what? I forget. Its weakness is not fire. Oh my god. That is a little embarrassing, but it's all good. We've got Infernape still. GG. This deck is cracked. We're just like beating the meta all night today. Let's go to the next game. All right, this is the last game we're looking at, and we're going second. I mean, if you've been here on the stream, you've been seeing how well this deck has been doing, and you saw how it fared against the meta decks. The #1 tier decks, man. All right, we're playing the Riolu. I wonder what we're playing. We're going second, so I feel really confident right now. We play 2 strong tier 1 decks, and probably will be the same here. Maybe Garchomp. I'm thinking Garchomp. I smell Garchomp. I feel it in my bones. There it is. There it is. Lucario, Garchomp. That's actually not a bad strategy. All right, let's go Pokeball. We've got our Houndoom. Let's go. And we've got our Monferno and Infernape in hand. Dude, we're cracked. We're so good at this game. And we've got Dawn too. And honestly, I've been playing testing with Dawn, and as I mentioned, you could swap Dawn for like, you could keep one Dawn and then swap the other one for like a Sabrina or a Cyrus, because most players will retreat their cards. Like I feel that this Lucario will be retreated. Actually, maybe not, because it has a high retreat cost. Maybe not, maybe not. We've got Double Dawn, we've got Houndoom, Monferno, and they're hitting for how much? 60. So thankfully, we've got 80 going to our Infernape next turn, and we'll be able to knock this Lucario. And if they are playing Garchomp EX, dude, they should have been building that bench from the get-go. That Lucario should have just been fodder. Ooh, not a bad play, not a bad play. But we've got Dawn. This is the perfect reason of why we play Dawn, right? Oh, snap. That was huge damage. Huge damage. Let's go Dawn. Transfer our fire to our Houndoom. Go into our Infernape EX. Go Pokeball, and then we're snapped here. We will sweep the Lucario and that Gibble if it doesn't evolve into a Gabite. And sure, we might lose the Houndoom, but it doesn't even matter. That's a 1 prize. Man, this deck is so good, man. This deck is just so good, so fun, and extremely budget friendly. Your most expensive card here is Infernape EX. I would love your opinions in the comments below. Let me know what you all think. There's the Riolu. I think this Gibble's going to get, I think this Gibble will be fodder. I don't know, maybe. Huh, okay. This Gibble is definitely fodder here. Really curious to what they're going to do. Oh, I mean, they could look Lucario, but then Lucario is essentially going to get swept by that Infernape EX now, so I don't know. You folks tell me though. What do you all think, man? Because I'm so hyped tonight with this deck. This thing is a beast. And remember, we're only playing 1 Infernape EX. 1 Infernape EX, and the communications just makes this deck so consistent, so much more bearable. Less bricks in hand, even better. This is low tier hero. This is Fire of Doom, because Houndoom and Infernape Flare Blitz is just wildly good. Don't sleep on this deck. Check it out. Comment below. Love to know your opinion. Take care. Subscribe, like, comment, share, subscribe. Definitely appreciate you being a part of the community. Bye.